The giant yellow snow plows that wake Yellowstone from its winter slumber every March are idled, waiting for the sun to make up for federal budget cuts that are forcing the park to open late for peak season. Mandatory cuts kicked in 3 days before the plows were to start clearing snow and ice from 300 roads at altitudes that reach 11,000 feet. Faced with an order from Washington to slice $1.8 million from his budget, the park superintendent, Dan Wang, had considered his options. He could slash the ranks of the 430 seasonal rangers, guides and other employees who help keep Yellowstone running every summer. But it would mean fewer visitor centers open, fewer walking tours and a risk to public safety. He could halt the bison management program, but the program is required under a court settlement. He could close the park for 2 weeks before the fiscal year ends September 30th, but that would mean shutting out 267,000 visitors. Or he could keep the seasonals, just fewer of them, and bring them on 2 weeks later, saving $450,000. He could freeze all permanent hires $1 million, delay the snow plows $250,000 and open most entrances 2 weeks late. About 50,000 visitors would be lost, and hundreds of fishing and hiking guides, rangers, and concession workers would lose their livelihoods. But it seemed the best bad alternative. The sun would melt and soften the snow, saving $30,000 a day. "We didn't say we're going to shut the park down for the season," Wang said. "But it will have real impacts. That parks, military bases and federal agencies across the country, managers such as Wang are weighing choices being forced by the budget reductions known as sequestration. Everybody says, we want you to run the park like a private business," he said, referring to the 5.1% cut he must make over 7 months, which will feel a lot bigger. "Well, here it is. The impact is 9%. Early Monday, he sat in regulation khakis in the brown armchair in his office, 5 miles inside the park, 2,174 miles from Washington. The temperature outside was 3 degrees. He looked over a long list of calls and meetings on his schedule to make it official that plowing would not start on time. He dialed the governor of Montana. "There's a lot of misinformation out there that we are just doing this to make a statement about the effects of sequestration," he told Guff. Steve Bullock walking him through his decision. "That's where we are, sir," Wang said. Bullock thanked him for the briefing. Then things got messy. By midday, the news release had gone out, and the "angry while you were out" slips were piling up. Tour guide Rusty Coles was at the top. "He's mad as hell and not buying your argument," read the message. "Rusty should call his congressman," Wang said in frustration, rubbing his eyes. And Cole did. Senator John Barrasso of Wyoming returned his call that night. "He said the delayed opening is not a done deal," recounted Cole, who is furious that park officials are slashing 2 weeks from his 20-week season.